Welcome to Zukkun Knows. We use computers and smartphones every day. But how do they actually work? Not just apps or internet, but deep down, inside the machine. Today we're going to explain computers in a way that anyone, even a kid, can understand. No tech jargon, no assumptions. Just real, clear answers. 1. What is a computer? A computer is a machine that processes information. It takes input, like a tap or click, follows instructions, and gives you an output, like a screen changing or a sound playing. From video games to cameras, it's all just input, process, output. 2. Everything starts with electricity. Computers don't think. They follow instructions using electricity. Electricity flows like tiny rivers through circuits. When the electricity flows, it means on 1. When it doesn't, it means off, 0. That's the basic language, 1 and 0. 3. 0 and 1, the language of computers. This language is called binary. Everything on your screen, photos, music, words, is just long patterns of 1s and 0s. For example, the letter A is stored as 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. The emoji smile has a binary code too, just much longer. Even this sentence is just billions of switches turning on and off. 4. Transistors, the tiny switches. The switches are called transistors. They are made from a material called silicon, a kind of purified sand that controls electricity. Each transistor acts like a tiny light switch, turning on and off super fast. Modern CPUs have billions of them, etched onto a thin, square chip smaller than a fingernail. These chips are made in clean rooms by machines that use lasers and chemicals to carve microscopic circuits into layers of silicon. 5. The CPU, the thinking machine. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It's like a super fast factory worker. It reads instructions and makes decisions millions of times per second. Inside, it's just billions of transistors wired together in patterns that let it do logic, math, and decisions. The whole thing is built onto a square silicon chip, wrapped in a ceramic or plastic package with tiny metal pins on the bottom. These connect the CPU to the rest of the computer. 6. The memory. The desk RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It's like a desk for the CPU. Random access means the CPU can quickly read or write any part of the memory without flipping through everything like a book. It holds the stuff you're working on right now. It's fast but temporary. If you turn off the power, everything on the desk is gone. Most modern RAM is a type called DRAM. The D stands for dynamic, which means the data inside needs to be constantly refreshed. DRAM stores 1s and 0s using tiny capacitors and transistors. Each bit of memory is made from these microscopic parts, tens of millions of them on a single chip. A capacitor is like a tiny bucket that stores electrical charge. If it has charge, it's a 1. If it doesn't, it's a 0. But the charge leaks away quickly, so the system has to refresh it constantly to keep the data alive. That's why it's called dynamic memory. 7. Storage, the bookshelf. Storage keeps things even when the power is off. There are 2 main types. HDD equals hard disk drive, uses spinning metal disks like mini records with a tiny needle that reads and writes magnetically. Hard means the disk is physically solid and stiff, unlike older floppy or tape drives that were soft and bendable. SSD equals solid state drive, has no moving parts, stores data using flash memory and tiny switches that trap electricity. Solid state means it's built entirely from solid electronic parts, with no motors or spinning parts inside. SSDs are faster and quieter, while HDDs are cheaper and good for big storage. Inside an SSD, it uses floating gate transistors to trap electrons. It's like writing in invisible ink that stays until you erase it. 8. Other parts that matter. A computer has many other parts too. Motherboard connects all the pieces. Power supply sends electricity. Cooling fans prevent overheating. Sensors and wireless chips manage Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and more. All these are built from tiny electronic parts soldered onto circuit boards. 9. Code becomes action. Apps and games are written in code. Sets of instructions. These instructions are turned into ones and zeros that the CPU can understand. That's how a button tap becomes a video, a sound, or a message. 10. Summary. Not magic, just logic. Computers are not magic. They're just machines that use electricity, silicon, and logic to follow instructions. From CPUs to memory to storage, it's all tiny parts doing massive teamwork. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Stick around and don't forget to subscribe for more How It Actually Works stories.